Ladies and gentlemen, Arcadia District right here, grand opening finale. What's going on, Mesh? Tell us a little bit.
What's up, baby? How are you? I'm good.
Yes.
What's crazy is you can hardly hear us. There's so much hype around.
So much stuff going on.
I feel like I'm in my early teens again, late teens, where we're clubbing.
Yes.
Now in our age, it's kind of like a bit too noisy for us, but let's take a look back here. There's so many people. I wasn't expecting this many people. This is only elite brokers, some of the top guys throughout the city. When I say guys, I mean guys and girls across the city. And you know, from when we started talking about this project to where we are now, I'm blown away at the number of people that are here right now to talk about this project. There's only 1,400 units.
Yeah, 100%, and it's a broadcasting. They're broadcasting it live with big cameras and stuff like that. But most importantly, this project has shown that there's value and top brokers are coming. Oh, there you go.
Look at that. Look at that. She's here. What are you serving?
Chicken sausage with the
Oh, that's
very good.
Let's take one.
Okay, let's take one. Thank you so much. This looks so delicious.
Can I grab a napkin off you?
A napkin? Thank you so much.
This is live. We're not even hiding it. There we go. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, man.
All right.
So we had a pause. We had a little bit of bite. Like they're catering here. Everything is inclusive, obviously, with EllisDon. But having said that, what's the purpose of this night? I mean, they're gonna reveal floor plans. They will reveal pricing and all of that stuff, right? Like that's.
You know what? I think it's important. It's important to have these type of nights with brokers who are professionals and that take this business seriously. Because I think for us, we were talking about this earlier. You know, we don't like to just sell any product, or we get invited to a lot of these, but if we don't believe in the product, how are we going to be able to tell our clients to believe in the product?
Absolutely.
What's exceptionally good is they're going all out. Most developers, they don't have to do this. But the fact that they're spending so much time and effort to educate us on the product, on what's going on in the city, and why this is an excellent opportunity for our clients speaks to itself. So
absolutely.
I definitely think that, hey, enough of, you know, we can talk till we're blue in the face about why it's good or whatever. It's good to see that other professionals here as well. Like the food keeps coming. This is crazy.
Hi, come in the shop. Come in the shop.
Come in the shop. Look, take a look what we got.
Take a look.
Isn't that delicious?
That's okay.
It's all good. It's all good. It's good.
It's okay.
You got it on. I'm good.
So what is this?
This is a chickpea with a crispy piri-piri.
Yeah.
Take one. Come on. Take. Look how this looks.
It's amazing.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Here we go.
Thanks. Here we go. So this was the second round. As you can see,
wow,
they keep feeding us and all of that stuff.
I think you're going to notice as these clips and the editing happens, both Ellis and I are going to look a little bit more and more
vulgar, right?
Crazy. It's crazy.
So I'm going to cut it right here. Sure. Let's wait for the announcement in about half an hour.
Yes.
38 minutes to be exact.
Awesome.
And then we go from there. So ladies and gentlemen, we're minutes away from the launch of Arcadia District. So how does it feel? It's pretty hectic out there.
Listen, if I knew we were going to the Oscars or we were going to like a music award ceremony, I would have worn my comfortable pants and running shoes. Like,
you know what? Like there's like a red carpet behind us here. There's you know her name, but
Pooja Anda's here from 98.1 and from City TV fame. Red carpet everywhere, you know.
Red carpet everywhere. So it feels good. So we have
going on.
About 15 minutes to launch.
Yes.
We'll keep you posted.
Absolutely.
Let's try to record all we can.
Absolutely.
But most importantly is we will get floor plans and pricing for the VIP lounge. And
this is it. This is it, baby. This is it.
My job here is simple. I would like to welcome the Vice President of EllisDon Developments, Chris Smith.
Okay, I'll do the stage test. Everybody hear me? This is the first time that EllisDon is being front and center on a residential development project. So before you hear from Ryan on the great opportunity we have for you this evening, I want to talk tonight about a little bit about EllisDon. Because whenever you buy a condo, you should know who the builder is. you should know what they've built, and you should know how what they've built has held up over time. And as everyone in this room knows, it's fairly easy to make a condo investment, but it's the quality of that construction that allows you to maintain that value and to eventually sell. So, on that note, the EllisDon of today is one of the top 5 construction services companies in North America. We have over 4,000 employees. We build around $5 billion worth of construction a year and have 15 national and international head offices. EllisDon, believe it or not, was founded on April Fool's Day 1951, and since then has grown into Canada's largest builder developer. The first project was a small renovation in London, Ontario. And only 30 years later, EllisDon was selected to build the first retractable roof stadium in the world. Now, this story is a little crazy that I can get into, but in building the Sky Dome, and I'm going to call it the Sky Dome because that's what it's called, the bet was made that that building was going to be built on time or that EllisDon was going to go broke. Brian Rabinovich.
Holy smokes! Holy smokes! Honestly, I'm looking at this room, my knees are shaking. This is an incredible turnout in a market that is a little challenging these days. I'm not gonna lie, not that any of you aren't feeling it, but look at this. We're surrounded by some of the biggest movers and shakers in the pre-construction industry. And what a fitting night and what a fitting venue to be here at EllisDon's corporate head office to celebrate together the official launch of Arcadia District. Give it up. Here's what we're gonna do. Does everyone have one of these things? Put them up, yeah. No, right now I'm still seeing only 500. I need to see all 1,000. Thank you so much. Okay, here's what I want you to do now. If you have an iPhone or a Samsung, you'll just click at the bottom corner, you'll pull up your camera. Press record, put your cameras up. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the incredible launch of Arcadia District by EllisDon. You're here tonight because you're a VIP. Let's go for a ride. Post it, tag EllisDon, tag EllisDon Developments, tag real estate, tag NKPR, tag Gladstone, tag everybody involved, and we promise you we're going to amplify your message to 23,000 residential condo units right now. Do you know any other developer that has 23,000 units under construction? Anyone here? That's what I thought. 30.7 million square feet of residential density. On the commercial and retail side, we have $12 billion of office projects completed or under construction. And here's the kicker, everyone. EllisDon has completed over 1,000 projects just on the commercial and retail side, okay? Think about developers that you do business with. Think about how many projects they've completed throughout the lifespan of the company. Maybe it's a legacy company, it's 3 generations. How many projects can you name? 10, 20, 30? EllisDon has 1,000 projects completed in only a single category. Finally, on the corporate side, the reason why we have Pearson Airport here is because, EllisDon built the terminal at Pearson Airport, so I thought you should know that. That's a fun fact. Over $40 billion of sustainable projects already delivered, $5 billion worth of projects completed on an annual basis. And if EllisDon wouldn't get a single contract starting tonight, which they will, but if they wouldn't, they still have $16 billion worth of projects in their pipeline. Are you guys impressed? Thank you, the EllisDon team that's clapping for me. So here's what I want you to do. There's a lot of sophisticated agents in the room. There's a lot of agents that do a lot of pre-con, but there's also a lot of agents that do a lot of resale and very little pre-con. I want to make sure that everybody in the room understands one important difference. The developers that generally you buy real estate from are very rarely the actual builders. There's a massive difference here, okay? A developer's job is to acquire the property. Their business model is to raise capital, to manage the zoning process, look after sales and marketing, look after the warranty process. But the one most complicated aspect of development is actually the construction. And that's where most developers are actually relying on a third-party construction company to build the project for them, right? So here's a theoretical scenario. Maybe you bought from a developer that has 3 different projects actively under construction. They could be all built by 3 different construction companies, and what that means is that you have no consistency on the finished product because every single project is built by another company, and every company has their own level of standard, their own level of attention to detail. EllisDon is now bringing both of those expertises together and will join that very short list of developers who build and develop. And that means that every time you're buying an EllisDon building, you can bet your bottom dollar that the quality will never disappoint.
So we have been in the most aggressive interest rate hike cycle in the last 30 years. And for me, the first question I ask myself when I hear something like that is, what do the last 30 years look like? This is, of course, what you can see behind me here. There have been 6 major interest rate hiking cycles in that period, and from the time it takes the Bank of Canada to start the hike until they stop is about 16 months on average. And as you can see, historically, they tend to not maintain their peak for an extended period of time. And the average time that it takes those cycles to decline back to a normalized rate is approximately 15 months. But worth noting that right now we're 18 months into the current cycle. So that's all backward looking. Let's look forward. The 6 largest banks are forecasting an interest rate cut in Q1 and Q2 of 2024 of next year. So you can see how this is all going to play out. If they cut at that time, the cat's out of the bag, everyone's going to know where things are going. So on that note, to talk to you about the second point, please welcome Ryan back to the podium.
Okay, jumping. I'm ahead of the mic. I'm traveling at the speed of sound here. Bringing us to the next point, which is immigration. So we're going to talk, as Chris has mentioned, we're talking a little bit about macro factors. We're going to dive into the micro in a bit. But immigration is a massive driver. You all know the story. Canada's population is the fastest among all the G7 nations, but, and there's a big but here, no pun intended, okay? No pun intended. The big but here is that Canada is ranked last in the speed in which it takes to get new development qualified and zoned. We've also welcomed 1 million new Canadians into the country in 2022. It took us about 26 years to go from 30 million to 40 million population, which is what we just passed. It's going to take us about 20 years now to go from 40 to 50. So the pace of growth is significantly higher, especially with a very friendly immigration policy applied by the government. Toronto currently has just over 3 million people. The CMA has just over 6 million people, making Toronto and the GTA the 6th most populous metropolitan center in North America. And that growth is expected to continue by 16% till 2030. What many people don't realize, and this is where we're starting to dive into the micro, talking about our market, Etobicoke, many people don't realize that Etobicoke is actually one of the largest population centers within the GTA. If you look, we're ranked 3rd. Mississauga, Brampton are larger, and then we're about 50 and 70,000 people larger than Markham and Vaughan. We're also surrounded by incredible employment opportunities. We're right in the middle of the Pearson Economic Zone that is home to over 400,000 jobs. We're right beside Mississauga's employment center, which is over 450,000 jobs, and Toronto's employment center, which is over 550,000 jobs. Altogether, over 1.4 million jobs within a 20-minute radius. Higher education institutions, we got those as well. 2 Humber College campus, 2 U of T campuses, a Sheridan campus, formerly known as Ryerson, Toronto Metro campus, all within less than 20 minutes away from our site. But guys, let's not kid ourselves. We know that this market is saturated. We know that you guys have been to launches and launches and launches, but what I do know from working and speaking to many of you is that there are very few launches that hit. There are very few launches that are successful. If we were to think of the entire calendar year, this year, and I would ask you, tell me about the successful launches of 2023. Most of you would be maybe able to name 3 or 4 projects. We've had over 60 launches. That means that 1 in 10 launches right now fail. Do you want to spend your time, or do you want to put your clients in the projects that end up failing? Say it loud and say it proud, guys. I need to make sure. Do you want to spend your time on a project that you cannot sell? No! Do you want to spend your time selling a project to your client that may never get built? No! Thank you for paying attention. When you're talking about seeking investment with actual potential, the first thing you got to follow is provincial government policy. The province of Ontario has defined urban growth centers within Toronto. We're going to talk about how growth is not a coincidence. The Etobicoke City Centre has been named one of 4 major growth centers in Toronto. Only 4. There's another one, but it's a smaller one. 4 major ones. They're looking to increase population by 205%, and they're looking to target employment to 400 people per hectare in the next 8 years. So the growth will be coming. You can see the 4 major centers behind me. The one that we care about, and the only one that you should care about, is the Etobicoke City Centre. When the province has defined that the growth center, Etobicoke, will happen, they've put together a plan that includes 5 layers as to what will be the drivers behind that growth. Number 1 is to convert this area into a focal area for investment in infrastructure. So you're going to have infrastructure. Number 2 is creating social benefits within the community. Talking about new community center, talking about new schools, new parks, to create a vibrant community. Number 3, transition the area into a high-density employment center. What does that mean? Bringing in future jobs. Next is to create a major transportation hub, which we'll talk about in a moment. And finally, plan and accommodate for all of the population growth that's going to come into the neighborhood. And here we're talking about a massive rise in demand. Growth is coming, there's no question. The question that you should ask yourself and the question that you should ask your client is, do you want to invest before all that growth happens, or do you want to invest when all that growth has occurred? The opportunity is right now. Transit is a massive part of it. Obviously, Kipling Transit Hub, built by EllisDon, $75 million infrastructure investment. It's not there by fluke. The province has designated and made a plan for this to happen. They hired EllisDon to build Kipling Station. Now you're living outside of a major transit hub that has access to TTC subway, GO train, major bus terminal, and direct shuttle to Humber College and a direct shuttle to Pearson Airport, all outside of your front door. And we know that living on transit pays because tenants pay more, buyers pay more, tenants turnover is lower. It just makes sense. Buyers want those conveniences. Another unique thing about Kipling Transit Hub is that outside of downtown Toronto, and you can see we've created a list for you with all the major growth centers in the province, outside of downtown Toronto, Arcadia District and Kipling Transit Hub is the only transit hub that has access to the 3 major modes of transportation: subway, train, major bus terminal. If you're buying in Vaughan, you're not getting the GO train. If you're buying in Mississauga, you're not getting the subway. If you're buying at Young and Eglinton, you're not getting the GO train. If you're buying at Arcadia District, you get it all outside of your front door at a fraction, 33% less than what it would cost you to buy in downtown Toronto. I've said it again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, growth is not a coincidence. Anyone here drove through Vaughan 15 years ago, through Highway 7 and Jane, Highway 7 and 400? You remember that whole area was industrial, not a single condo building. Today when you drive through, there are about 10 or 12 buildings under construction with dozens more to go. If you drove through Mississauga about 15 or 20 years ago, outside of Square One Mall, again, very little density. Now, tons of new constructions, tons of new development activities. Guys, that does not happen by coincidence. That happens because the province has defined that those areas will undergo growth, and every single provincial policy has been put in place to make sure that that growth happens, and that's what's happening right now at Arcadia. That's what's happening right now at Etobicoke City Center. You have the opportunity to buy a Transit City 1 or an M1 before the prices go on a crazy run. Take advantage, make sure your clients take advantage. Development activity within a 2.5 kilometer radius, we know that growth is coming. We know it. 23,000 condos coming within a 2.5 kilometer radius, right to the heart of the Etobicoke City Center. 60,000 new residents in over 35 different applications and projects. The investment opportunity that we want you to focus on is to capture the growth by investing early. I'm going to take you through these graphs super quickly. Bottom line is, you can buy at Arcadia for 21% less than in North York City Center, 29% less than Yonge and Eglinton, and 33% less than downtown Toronto. But when you look at the rent, you're getting almost exactly the same rents. As an investor, you only care about two things: capital appreciation and the income that the property yields while it's appreciated. The rent here delivers. The property value here is low enough to leave a huge opportunity on the table for your clients, even when you compare us to the GTA growth centers. We're a 416 project that's priced like a 905 project. Price less than Mississauga City Center, price less than Vaughan City Center, price less than Markham City Center, rents for either as well or better than all of those submarkets. Your dollar, your client's dollars go further here. And finally, from an inventory perspective, we hardly have any inventory. So take advantage and buy into a market that isn't saturated, that does have a massive upside. And from a rents perspective, and this is the last graph, I promise. From a rents perspective, Arcadia District and the Etobicoke City Center are appreciated at a faster rate for rent in the last 5 years than York, Toronto West, Toronto East, Mississauga, Peel, Toronto Central, and Vaughan. We're outperforming everyone as far as it relates to rental growth. If there's one word that I want you to take out of tonight, if this whole presentation can be distilled into a single word, the word that I want you to remember is growth. Growth in employment with over 1.4 million jobs outside of your front door. Growth in developments with over 23,000 units coming. Growth in values and a growth in potential that exists there today for your clients. Growth in investment in infrastructure. Growth in your rent income. Growth in transit opportunities and accessibility. Growth in population and in prices. And finally, grow your own portfolio and grow your client's net worth. Grow your own portfolio and grow your client's net worth by investing alongside one of the most trusted names in Canadian real estate. As if all of that is not enough, we've also partnered with SMEG. The SMEG team is here representing. The SMEG is an incredible luxury appliance manufacturer from Italy. All the appliances are made in Italy. And I was sure for a second there that was the one SMEG employee here. Yeah? Everybody. Okay. So SMEG has partnered up with EllisDon to collaborate at Arcadia District. SMEG's collaboration in the past include partnering with Disney, with Coca-Cola, with Veuve, with Fiat, with Dolce & Gabbana on a line that kind of constantly feels like it's selling out, with Lavazza, and with Italia Independence, second to none. Every single unit at Arcadia District will feature a Classica line SMEG appliance package designed by Mr. Guido Canali. Mr. Canali has been partnering and designing lines with SMEG for decades, and every single kitchen appliance in your client's units will have full Canali designed SMEG appliances.
As you can see, we have 4 towers, and here's what we've done. We've created 62,000 square feet of amenity space, spanning the 7th floor of all 4 buildings. And if you're trying to picture it, it's slightly larger than a standard American football field, measuring 58,000 square feet. So we are larger than that. No matter what building you buy in, you get access to all amenities across all 4 buildings. Now, convenience is what we live for. Convenience is everything. Not only do we have a healthy parking ratio, but our site is a short 5-minute walk to the Kipling Transit Hub, where you can hop off of one system and on to the next, providing access to TTC, subway, and bus, the Mississauga MyWay, the Go Bus, and the Go Train, which gets you to Union in 20 minutes. This brings me to the Arcadia Amenity Club. Our vision for Arcadia was always for these 4 buildings to live as one. We wanted to bring value to the purchasers, and that's when we realized that sharing these spaces between all residents would unlock unrealized potential. And here's what I mean. The space will also be open to the outside if you wish to take your workout outdoors. We will have a co-working space of 4,700 square feet, designed with functionality in mind, for those of us that work hybrid or full-time from home. We have open areas and small quiet rooms available to take personal calls and Zooms. For all of my entertainers, my hot tubbers, my barbecuers, on the rooftop of the 7th floor, there will be an outdoor infinity pool and a hot tub. That space naturally transitions into loungers, cabanas, and patio furniture. And it's equipped with barbecues and theater kitchens to allow residents to relax, hang out with their friends and other neighbors. And if you're still not relaxed, come down to the 6th floor where we have a warm sauna waiting for you alongside a cold plunge. Don't knock it until you try it. Nothing helps clear your mind and wake you up like a cold plunge. Or is it the end of a busy day and nowhere to go with the kids, and you have 3 hours to kill until bedtime? Bring them to the kids' playroom. It's connected to a parent's lounge where you can unwind for a hot minute, and to an outdoor area, and yet another set of barbecues to get dinner going. We got you, parents.
Success for you and the client. We want to bring the buyer's experience back. We encourage you to bring the buyers into the sales center so that they can touch, see, and feel the location, the area, the quality of the finish. Gratitude to the EllisDon team, EllisDon Developments, for putting together an incredible offering, and a huge thank you to you guys in the room here today with us for sharing the celebration. We're looking forward to working and selling this thing out so we can roll into the second building. Thank you all so much.
Now, so ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We're on the stage. Arcadia District, EllisDon.
Listen, you know what? It's a party. We stay here for 3 hours to go through stuff we knew. But I actually was blown away at the end of what they were talking about in terms of pricing.
Exactly. In terms of pricing,
It's better than we all expected.
100%.
I myself am going to jump on one myself. I think everybody that's watching this that knows me, knows Ellis, come grab it. We only have a small window, literally 3 days. I think with the turnout here, I don't think you even expected this many people to be here today.
It's like a nightclub in here.
They're going to sell out of the key units for sure.
Like this, very fast.
So if you've been sitting on the sideline, we want to talk to you. This is definitely a great project for 3 years out, 4 years out.
Yeah.
Let's make some money and have some fun. Why not?
Let's make some money, let's
Yeah.
have some fun.
Yes.
This is the best project in Toronto, GTA.
Yeah.
As of now,
100%.
we've seen the graphs, we've been behind the scenes.
100%.
We are on the stage. We got you covered.
Absolutely.
This has been a blast.
We'll talk to you very
Hope to see you soon.